MKC is a full-service cooperative servicing ag producers in the area. We have our agronomy departments and things like that, grain. We also have a lot of commercial accounts in our petroleum division.
About 2 years ago, we were preparing for a new facility construction in Burns, Kansas. And I'd been working with a couple different concrete contractors, working on bids for concrete, for bin foundations, pads for driveways, and other concrete structures. And we came across Barron Concrete.
Obviously a growing company as well, and we have a lot of projects being completed, and Barron Concrete was one of those companies that did a lot of the concrete work for us.
James McNall came to Mound Ridge, Kansas to talk about the project and give us a quote.
Ended up getting a deal on a storage building in Groveland, and that was kind of the first one out of the chute.
And at the time, we started talking about Barron Concrete's operation and Mid-Kansas' operation, and it became pretty obvious that Barron Concrete had a fairly large operation with lots of equipment. And we found that there was maybe some solutions we could provide to Barron Concrete in their operation.
And as a result, one of our directors had notified me that we needed to visit with Barron at a possibility of having him as an account.
Well, basically, when I was talking with James, we identified that there was a way that we could help them, potentially with RFD at the time. And we got to talking with James a little bit more in depth. We brought Chris Chandler in, which is our service rep for that area through Mid-Kansas Cooperative and Cenex. And we got Chris involved with James and the Barron crew.
Called me and let me know that there was an opportunity with Barron Concrete.
And so Chris went and visited with Barron Concrete about all the products that we had to offer. He outlined what we could give them and provide for them and the benefits.
Chris had contacted me in regards to possibly them picking up a new customer in Barron Concrete, and I just wanted to gather the information, so I gathered the information from him in terms of the volume and the location of the customer. And then I went back and worked with our people internally here, the dispatchers and the routing group, so they would understand that this was a possibility and how we could work together to schedule deliveries into that site.
He came in and we talked about all the things they provided and
discussed how that we could bring value to them and how that we could meet their needs and help them be more successful.
one of the things they could provide that we had with our current supplier we had was we run about 5 different companies within one building. And so every month the girls in the office were trying to allocate what fuel were coming out of our current bins.
Basically, the client had multiple operations under one roof. They were looking at a way to separate out fuel use between those different operations.
Part of the marketing tool that Chris was able to propose to Barron Concrete was the ability to monitor the end user tanks and not essentially have somebody at the location stick each tank nightly or call a fuel supplier for product at any given time. Our monitors allow us to dispatch fuel accordingly based on when the load is deemed needed.
They said, well, we can help you with that. We'll just, put different divisions, and so that was a big selling point with us. Was now we can allocate and know exactly every year what XYZ company, Barron Excavating, Barron Concrete, was actually using in fuel, and that way they were paying, so we could get a good look at their books. And
we were able to utilize a fuel system to tie in with an RFD program. It sends information from the pump into their PC unit so they can track their fuel. They know where their fuel's going. They know who's picking up fuel, when they're picking up fuel, and they can divide out their billing by division.
Worried about the transition just because anytime we're a working company, and whenever you change something like the amount of fuel that we go through in a night, I mean, all our guys fuel up at night, and it may be a skid loader, it may be end dump truck, or so we blow through a lot of fuel. I was worried about that transition, but it went well. I mean, we put in some temporary tanks, and other side of the lot, they came in the next day and put those in, and it went really well. So.
Since the account came on, it's been going great. I think we've been able to meet the end user needs with the help of Chris and the dispatch group here at corporate. The monitoring system certainly allows that to take place.
But everything's been going good. And I mean, as far as fuel's always there, they've got the monitor, so I don't have to worry about getting a call at 7 o'clock at night when my trucks are filling up, or our trucks are filling up, and hey, we're out of fuel, or whatever. We've had, you know, there's been a couple of technical problems, but they've been out within, 40 minutes and got us going. So I mean, Chris has done a great job, you know, if there was a problem, getting it fixed. So.
Barron's really appreciates the work that MKC does for them, the follow-up calls and so on that Chris makes.
Chris is a very persistent salesman. You give him a challenge and he'll stay on top of it. We've given Chris many references for new clients and new customers, and he's got a high success rate for landing those new accounts.
And I would just add that the Barron Concrete business, it was a process. Chris worked on that for over a year before they just started getting some initial products in there. It was actually lubricants that the way he got his foot in the door with Barron Concrete. So Chris is very good about that. He follows up, he stays with that until he gets something done. So.
It's been a great experience.